consider the literal meaning of the words unless the literal meaning results in absurdity or causes conflict among other constitutional provisions subject for interpretation. The petitioner anchored his petition on the provisions of Section 2 and 7 of Act No. 1 of 2016, the Act, and their effect on the repealed Article 35 of the Constitution in relation to the first respondent's first presidential term. The petitioner also addressed the effect of Article 106 of the Constitution on the first respondent's second presidential term. He argued that based on the holistic reading of these provisions, the Constitution bars the first respondent from contesting for a third term as president. The petitioner submitted that the Act contains adequate transitional provisions and referred the court to its decision in Mutem Nchito versus the Attorney General, where it held that Act No. 1 of 2016 is the enabling or effecting act of the constitutional amendments, and in it are all the relevant provisions for ensuring a seamless transition from one constitutional order to another. He argued that the Act addressed how the transition process would affect the office of the President and the incumbent President at the time. Reference was made to Section 7 of the Act, which provides the President shall continue to serve as President for the unexpired term of that office as specified in accordance with the Constitution. It was the petitioner's submission that Section 7(1) of the Act unambiguously states which constitutional regime applies to the transition period in question. He referred the court to Section 2 of the Act, which provides that the applicable constitutional regime referred to in Section 7 is the repealed Article 35 of the Constitution. Section 2 of the Act provides as follows. Constitution means the Constitution of Zambia, 1991, in force immediately before the effective date. It was further argued on behalf of the petitioner that the transitional clauses do not provide for the retroactive application of the Constitution. He submitted that Sections 2 and 7 of the Act clearly identify the applicable Constitution to the first respondent's first term. With regard to Article 106 of the Constitution, it was the petitioner's submission that since Sections 2 and 7 of the Act ensured that the repealed Article 35 of the Constitution applied to the first respondent's first presidential term, it follows that the second presidential term was subject to Article 106 of the Constitution. Counsel submitted that the first respondent served his first presidential term from 25th January 2015 to 13th September 2016 as per the repeal, as there are several exceptions to its application. He listed the exceptions as lack of jurisdiction, the presence of fraud or collusion, material changes in the law or facts, and mistake or was based on a mistake, or indeed the court has discharged all its judicial functions in a case. He also referred the court to the case of Ituna Partners versus Zambia Open University Limited, the Constitution, as he is not disputing the eligibility of the winning presidential candidate, and neither is he disputing the election of a president, nor the nullification of the outcome of the presidential election. In order of augmenting his written submissions, the petitioner's counsel submitted that the court was essentially being asked to interpret the meaning and